Good evening. We're going to start this meeting. The time is 6:04. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Roll call, we have 6 counselors. We do have a quorum. Unfinished business? None. New business? We're going to have a discussion with the Streets Department.
Either streets first or DPW, they're both the same.
Your choice.
Use those streets, I guess.
Just tell me which one, so I can get the right page.
Streets.
Streets.
Go ahead with
Okay.
streets.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go line by line like you did with the others for theirs, or, okay.
I think so.
So we're on, street MVH. Is that the page everybody's on? Okay. Salaries are going down 3%. That's just an adjustment from what we're expecting to spend this year for salaries. No real changes there. All of the supplies in 420 remain the same. There were no changes on any of those lines. If you get down into the 430s for other services and
She
charges,
came down here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yes, sir.
So you went, because he's looking right here. I'll get you in the right spot. I'm sorry, Ray.
While he does that, can I ask you a question?
absolutely.
Okay, on supplies,
Oh, street department.
Under
Okay,
other?
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which other?
Where the hell is that at?
Can you give me
Way
the
back,
code
it's
line?
almost-
422.
Sanitation.
Oh,
yeah,
15.
423,
420.
Garage?
It's a blue-
.015.
blue cap.
Okay,
it says 0%.
That's parks.
right, a 0%
right.
I
increase.
don't see it
It was.
It's a 0%
0%,
increase,
yeah.
yes, ma'am.
That's the same.
at parks. They don't have streets. Oh, here it is. It's a yellow one. Okay,
Sorry.
that's why. Okay. They're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yes, that's important that we're on the same page.
Okay, when you
Welcome
were
back.
up in the 410 in your salaries, why did
Yes.
it go down 3%?
It's just an adjustment over, we were fully staffed
Okay, good.
in 2024 and we're 1 or 2 short now.
One.
We're 1 person short.
Okay.
But there's a hiring freeze.
Right,
So that, it's just an
That's the-
annual adjustment.
okay.
We had a longtime employee retire this
So we
year,
haven't
so
replaced them.
that helps the budget a little bit for next year.
Right. Hopefully it's not a CDL driver, was it?
Yes.
He came back.
Yeah, yeah.
He's back.
I heard that.
Everything else is pretty flat across the board, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
As you can see, we moved some of it around to try to balance it. Overall, our budget stayed exactly the same. we moved it into different categories to better meet the expectations and the projects for next year.
So that's
Engineer-
what I want to know. What are the projects for next year?
Yeah, that was a
Okay,
good
so
question.
for the community crossing matching grant, we're going to apply for that. Applications due this month. It's a $1 million grant that we match, so we would match $1 million. That is in 436,003. There's the $1 million for that there. we plan on applying for, now these aren't guaranteed projects, we're going to apply for the matching grant for Pebblebrook, Kingsborough, and English Oak.
Good, they need it too.
So those are the three, and by Pebblebrook, I mean the whole subdivision, not just a street in Pebblebrook. So all three of those subdivisions are concrete streets, and concrete streets are twice the amount to replace or repair as an asphalt street. So we won't get as much done next year, but it will be a huge impact. We did Bay Ridge this year, Dice Valley Estates, we've done a number of streets, Bay Ridge.
Yeah, we're doing Bay Ridge. yeah.
They're doing that right now, I don't know if you noticed that, but they're working on that
I
right
have.
now. So we've got that, and then, I did move some money to 431,002 engineering. We're gonna try to, we had a couple of change orders on the community crossing matching grants, and we're gonna try something a little better engineering prior to putting it out for bid, to see if we can get a closer number to actual construction cost and not have the change orders that we've seen on the ones this year.
Okay.
So, we increased that a little bit, and that, instead of having it in several different accounts, we moved it all to the one,
No, that's why, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Were there any other line items within the street budget that you guys wanted to?
How many employees do you have?
Seven?
7.
And a part-time?
7 and a part-time, yeah.
7?
7 and a part-time.
What's the sewage, well, I noticed in 25, it's not budgeted in 20,
Our controller,
We're taking, there's $200,000, surplus in the 431,002, and we're gonna move that down to the utility line items.
431,002.
that engineering of
That's engineering.
700,000, we're gonna reduce that to 500, right?
We take 200,000 out of that.
And we're gonna put that in 432,004, 005, and 006, and then 435,001, 2, 4, and 5.
Will we be able to do any, strip patching and stuff?
Yeah,
That's out of the local roads and
yeah,
streets
that's out of the
budget.
LRS.
That's a different fund. This is your vehicle taxes, your excise tax, your wheel tax is motor vehicle highway. It's,
Okay.
you have to spend 50% of those taxes on actual street construction.
Restricted.
Strip patching is not considered construction.
Okay, and that comes in the street, that comes out of what?
LRS.
Local roads and streets.
And that's it, which fund is that, which budget is that in?
Did you get that extra sheet?
That is something, we'll have to get that actually from Scroll, because we didn't have that sheet to go along with the budget, so we're missing a sheet. So we need to get that from Scroll, and they wanted to do it today, they had other obligations, so, make sure we'll try to follow up with them again, this evening and tomorrow.
Okay, to see where we're at.
And then we can do a special one for local roads and streets.
I just want to make sure that, my concern is that, I know we're on a strict budget, and I know our budget is flat, but I'm not trying to pretend to be a street guy. I'm not trying to pretend to be
No, you're
someone,
fine,
I'm not
man.
trying to
You're
pretend to be in your job, but I want to make sure that enough work is being done where we don't fall too far behind. I know we've got a pretty lean budget, but I'm just concerned, you know, our constituents, you know, what I mean, roads is important to them, right?
Right on.
And so,
Us
there's
too.
you know, right, us too, right? And so, I just wanna make sure that, I know all of us up here on the council, I'm sure, our that's something that we do hear from people, is making sure that streets are good, and I just wanna make sure that we're doing everything we can to put as much as we can to cover.
Oh, it's there, yeah.
And just like, for instance, this year, all the new panels in Bay Ridge. That is a private contractor that's not part of, that's extra money that we found in the budget this year that we said, hey, we've got about 200,000, what else can we do? Street departments is
We're doing the labor, we're tearing it out and removing it, and they're coming in and pouring it. That saves us
Yeah.
a lot of money.
February.
So like, we've got twice as much work done in there as we would have had the street department guys not gone in and helped and assisted the contractor. So we're always looking at things like that to try to figure out, okay, we've got a few extra dollars, where can we spend it to make an impact?
Do we have any sidewalk improvements in this budget?
That is
Yes.
also the local roads and streets
Yes.
budget.
What was your question?
I think it's,
Sidewalks,
Oh, that was my next
yeah,
question.
yeah, oh, yeah, that's never ending.
yeah.
I know.
So
But
that's the budget that we'll
sidewalks are
get later.
budgeted,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Well, I just, I'm gonna ask about the others, like
Okay,
Sure, fire
the,
away.
42, under supplies, 422.015 for $50,000. I mean,
What's it, 422015?
yes,
Okay, that's our vendors, that's for uniforms, lasers, flags, barricades, welding gas, sign parts, salt box parts, just any kind of tools, street painting, graffiti remover, outdoor supplies, weed killer, stuff like that.
okay. And then 423.015,
That is for our brine, that's for our asphalt that we do patching with, that's for rollers and brushes to paint curbs, the light bulbs, water heaters, miscellaneous cable ties, just
190,000,
welding wire, yeah.
okay. Then the other, 429.010,
That is that's street supplies, that's just boots, safety supplies, equipment, cleaning wipes, just
like the yellow safety
safety,
vest.
our shirts,
Okay.
That kind of
all our
stuff.
uniforms come out of there, boots, we buy our people boots, and, jeans.
and then I had a question about 434.002, liability, how it went up
That's
by 39%.
Our liability went up probably about over $1 million. Our deductible is now $500,000, so that's just from,
For the streets department?
no, it's just for everybody.
04 or 02.
Excuse me, I was told in the, was it the police? Yeah, the police that the deductible was $1 million.
No, I told you $500,000.
Well, that's what I told them, and didn't they say that with the police thing?
I couldn't remember exactly. I remember you said, I didn't argue with you, he said, because I couldn't remember what the number was. I just know it's a gross number, so.
You said $1 million, I said it's $500,000.
On $2 million of coverage, right?
Yes.
Right, so we pay $500,000 for $2 million worth of coverage. So you pay a fourth of it out your pocket, right?
Right.
That ain't very good coverage, is it?
Well, because of the previous claims that we've had.
Right. So so I didn't want to nail you guys here, but now since you're spreading across the department, it is a concern, right? One of the questions that I gave to the insurance agent that I'm a little disappointed is, if your cost goes up, right, on something like that, you hope that I'll be honest with you. I'm not trying to make this about my business, but it's the only way I can make it. I had a company I was doing restaurants. I had a bunch of people get workers' comp, so they slips and falls and cuts, right? So to reduce that cost, to try to reduce that, we had to change our policies and procedures to try to reduce slips, falls, and cuts, right? I had to go buy mesh gloves, and we had to do safety classes and things like that too. What I haven't heard is this is the cost. When I was in the meeting, I asked the guy, what are some of the policies that we could do to reduce the cost? Are there things that we can do? He didn't give me examples, but he did say there are things that you can do. So I had hoped that when you brought the high bill, not you, but when the administration of the city were in this predicament, you could say, hey guys, we're gonna have to pay this because of these past mistakes, but this is what we're gonna have to do. Because it literally took me 3 years to dig out of the workers' comp, where I got out of the state pool and now I can go into the regular pool and drop my rate, and it made a difference on the bottom line. That's running the organization and running the business, right? Don't wait for me to tell you that, okay? And that's why I sit up here and it seems like I'm always lecturing, but I'm waiting for somebody to say, hey, I screwed up. I talked, here's the research, here's the solution.
The police department did a few months ago change their chase policy, which was
Have we really chased our pursuit? We have?
Yes.
Why did we put that in the paper? Because that's worth saying, because that's a knock on us.
My belly, but guess what?
Well, but I'm saying, to be honest with you, I'm glad you said that, because that is the biggest knock. That is almost a political thing, and we need to let people know that, because I was against us chasing folks, and also too, I'd also like to know, if we didn't have these large, expensive tactical vehicles, I mean, I know that my luxury vehicle is more expensive to insure than my Chevy Impala, right? I just want common sense so that we can pave more roads and more streets and more sidewalks out of the general fund. So anyway, that's my ban, but that's a nasty one, man. This is awful. To pay that much in insurance.
Going forward, anyone who wants to speak, please come to the podium. Okay, I'm getting text messages. They can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Liz, did you want to keep moving on?
Oh, I wanted to, so
Others?
436.004 is repair and maintenance of sidewalk, and that was put into another account?
Local roads and streets.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And then the other 436.010 for, it's 35,000, it went up by
So
14,000.
that's like for Corson to come and inspect the fire the fire extinguishers. It's for filters for the buildings. It's for, HVAC when it breaks, air conditioning when it breaks. Our buildings are getting, yeah, what else do you take out of there? 436,010.
Annual service.
Yeah, annual services for the buildings.
Repairs and maintenance.
So that's just because the buildings are older that it's gone up,
Yes,
or?
and most of the
Not
units
so much,
are,
not so much the building, it's what you're buying to fix the building that's going on.
Okay, thank you.
It's cost of living, so.
And then the final one is 439.020. It's 100,000, it went down $13,000.
439,020?
Yeah,
Okay, that's for brush dumping, tree removal, and street light repairs. Street light maintenance.
okay. Thank you.
That's for.
Renee, I didn't see it in, listed here, I'm sure it's in one of these line items, but, the road salt for winter. Am I missing that?
yeah,
That
that's
comes out of the,
materials
yeah.
and supplies.
Now, the thing about salt is, we're in the rears of the year, so I bought last year, carried over into this year, because we got, you say you want 200,000 tons or whatever to say, you gotta buy 80% of it, or you pay a
Right.
huge fine. So I've got both salt barns full from last year, so hopefully, we shouldn't have to buy much salt this year.
Oh,
But we
okay,
do
so
have it
we,
budgeted.
so that's why it's not here, because you've got a
It's not a
leftover.
separate line
It's in the
item.
LRS,
It's
too.
in the 423,015 and an LRS, local roads and streets.
So is that two, like, what you saying? is
So
that two
one's
like
for
one?
salt, one's for brine, and then we've got a.
Okay,
account
yeah, I
for
figured it'd be an asphalt
equipment.
material.
So are you saying like, you had your regular order 2 years in a row, and now that you're on your third year, we didn't use much, you can reduce the order on the third year?
Correct.
Well, yeah, it's catch-22.
Yeah.
Because if we get hit with a bad winter, then we gotta.
Then you gotta buy it at the high
See,
price.
we
at the
get,
end of the
we
year.
get on state
Right.
bid, QPA bid. So if you go outside QPA, you're gonna pay twice what you know what I'm saying?
So we just try to keep the barns full
I trust you,
from year
Jim,
to
that you,
year.
and look, I trust you know how to keep the
Yeah.
plan.
He knows how to do it.
But really, we're always in the rears. But yeah, both barns are full, flat full, so.
And then one more question. 439.050, the internal service charges. Maybe this goes to, but it says there's no change, 0% change, but looks like there's a change.
So that is the fund where we pay the controller's office. Am I correct in that?
Liz, that's part of the information I sent you when you asked about the internal service charges
Ye-
about.
I'm just asking though why it says there's no change when
Oh, okay.
it says 0% change. That's kind of confusing when I think there is. Am I misreading that?
No, you're not.
I've seen that on several things.
Okay.
And that
Is
could
Crow
be-
here?
No, Crow is not here today.
And that's the other thing too, we need to get the numbers, I tried to reach the guy, and I didn't ask for his card, because I was trying to get some understanding on this today too.
As to whether or not they were gonna be here?
Well, they were gonna be here, I had some additional questions too about the budget and understanding. But I just didn't know, I mean, I just thought that usually we had access to, because he created the budget, right? You did, right?
Well, but, yeah, he created what we had. Yeah.
Right.
We give-
Can you go to
What
the
you
mic?
gave him.
Right.
That's the other
Oh,
big thing
they
I
want-
heard
they
too, I
can't
want to know. You just kind of answered it, and I'm not trying to muddy the waters, but now you just went to it. Were these numbers, we gave them these numbers to create the budget, right?
Well, each department was responsible for entering their budget.
Right, but these numbers didn't come out of New York.
No, they came out of New World initially, whatever the departments put
But
in.
Crow didn't take it straight from New World and build the budget.
No.
No, they were given numbers
What-
out of,
No,
from
they
the
weren't
city.
given numbers, they were given numbers that came out of New World when each department entered their budget. Only numbers that actually Crow gave us was the revenue numbers.
So you're saying you guys went into New World, gave them, each department gave
Entered their
them
own
the numbers.
budgets, yes.
Each department does their own budgets,
Correct.
and then gave the numbers out of New World. So the numbers in this book should match the numbers in New World if someone was to do that.
If, not at this time, but initially, they don't have the revenue numbers in there, so they won't have the revenues, because the departments didn't enter the revenues, they entered their expenses.
Okay.
I just was told that Crow will be here for tomorrow night's session, so you can ask questions of Crow. What's that? I don't know. I just was told that Crow would be here tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, that's the park board meeting, I think, isn't it?
Parks met tonight.
I'm sorry?
Oh,
Parks met tonight.
for budget.
The controller is tomorrow night at 6:30.
Tomorrow night.
Crow will be here for that one.
Okay.
I just got the text.
I haven't read it. 'Cause things change from minute to minute.
Right.
You know, I did have a question, and maybe this is probably not quite germane to the street department, but it kinda is. So we were talking about insurance just a while ago, and it's just a thought that just popped into my head, and that's why I wanna get it out before I lose it. Would it be possible, I mean, or would it be feasible, I guess? Because my understanding of our insurance going through the roof is because of claims within mainly the police department. I mean, that's what we were told back when we had that meeting upstairs. What would be the possibilities of insuring each department individually?
That's not my wheelhouse, I couldn't
I
answer
have
the
no
question.
idea.
I understand, but I mean, just something for the administration, maybe you've looked at it, maybe you haven't, but, if the police department is our high risk, if we take all the other departments that haven't had many, if any, claims, maybe we could, you know, maybe we could drop the, insurance premiums. I mean, we had to do something, that premium is just untenable,
Well,
we can't.
to be honest with you, Rick, it took them 6 months to find somebody to even insure us, so we gotta go with what we got.
And you gotta remember,
Yeah.
that's all years past.
Right, years
It's-
past,
It's
right.
collecting up, it's not just something that happened
Right.
last week.
No, it
This
didn't.
is-
No, it
This has
didn't.
been years and years. and
It
years.
is, but it usually takes a while, you see the writing on the wall before they drop you. But I got a bigger question that goes towards what you said, Rick, and this kind of goes to insurance. And the reason why I'm so strict about the street department is, I'll never forget, when you paved and pitched that road right, that solved most of our stormwater issues on David, right? So just the simple of, you know, we thought we had to come in here and do all this digging and all this stuff, and he came in there, pitched it, right, and it solved 80% of our problem, right? So, and I think, and I felt like that was a big savings, and one of the best things that's done in my neighborhood since you've been there. So that's why it's so critical to me that the street department has all the money they can, because that's what makes a difference to the people, quiet enjoyment of their homes, right? We got too much water on the street, too many mosquitoes in the trees, I can't enjoy my patio. Can't have my grandkids in the backyard. And that's what Lawrence is really about, right? So, Now, but we gotta deal with administrative insurance problems and stuff like that. So, in your same line of breath, did you take the total, I understand that they insure the whole city.
So nothing.
So did we take the whole bill, the $500,000, and spread it across all departments? Or did we say, hey, this is police heavy, so they're gonna carry a little more of the load, this department's gonna carry a little more of the load, and all the way down?
I did consult with Sean today, who's over our payables, and she actually had a bill on her desk. And I asked her, how does she determine what department got what share of the bill? And she said it was based on historically how the claims came in. And so I told her, I said, well, let's combine it with the total, what total budget each department is of the total. And so we pretty much went through, and she's gonna realign it again to determine and make, probably police and fire are gonna be bearing the bulk of it.
That makes sense. So, okay, so that's good. So then that lets me know, how do I, okay, this is where it gets technical. I'm sorry, Counselor. Okay, because I understand that the line items can all move around, right?
Within the same.
Within the same deal,
Yeah.
right? And so that's where I struggle as a councilman to say this is our budget, but I can't really tell you where to spend it. I'm really only approving, honestly, the top number in a sense, because they can move around money. But how, what you just said makes all the sense in the world. We basically said the same thing. And how do I ensure that this line item and other that's got a good chunk of the money in it now, we approve it? How do I ensure that that the street department's still not gonna get hit with that bill, and that the police department won't have to go shuffle their money? I mean, it's the top line, right? It's all, we're not taking nothing away, but just shuffling their line item where they gotta pay their insurance bill, and he gets to shuffle his line item to do more projects or, things that are better for the city. How can we make sure that happens when this book is all I got, right? And that's been the tough part for me as a 10 years a counselor. I just struggle with that.
Okay, we have forms and things that we go through to allocate to each department, so we don't just pretty much pick it out of the air. But I told Sean that we need to maybe start going according to how the budgets or each department's, their weight of the total budget. And so, and also, I told her to combine it with the claims that are actually going to each department. So if all the claims are going to police or coming from police or fire, then that's where the bulk of it needs to go.
I agree with that. Well, okay, so I hope, I'm taking your word, and I'm just gonna hope and look to say that this should loosen your budget up a little more. And so if we have a committee meeting, let's say June of 26 for public works, streets, whatever, I just hope I'll remember this, and I'll say, hey, did you have more money to do more projects? I hope that you get to tell me, man, there was a sidewalk, or there was a street, or there was something I wasn't gonna do, but because, they paid their bill more, I had $75,000 to do something more in Brookhaven, in District 1, of course.
Of course.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Because I know, Rick, you got some folks with some flooding yards and some streets and sidewalks need repairs.
Oh, yeah. And on that subject, while we're on the streets, Renee, you and I have had this conversation about, in my neighborhood, about the big fuel tank trucks. Are we getting any closer to restricting them going, on Van Cleve and instead keeping them off of 46th Street where the roads are not
We've
nearly
had
as
several
big?
discussions about it and looked at alternatives on different routes that we could send the Browns oil trucks. And Gretchen and I actually talked about it just yesterday. And we were gonna sit down today, got away from me, and we did not get to do it today, so it's on our agenda for Monday. Or not Monday, because it's a holiday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
So-
I'm sorry too. Why did your workers' comp go up 122%?
That's a question I can't answer.
Did you notice that?
Those are not
Say
things
what?
we control.
The workers' comp 434001, it went up. The change is 122%.
$20,000.
It went from
433?
434.
434.
Oh, yeah.
Workman's compensation,
20%.
It looks,
122%.
okay, so that, for this year, part of that was funded from the ARPA, if I'm not mistaken. And then, so if you look at previous, in 2024, it was 33,000,
Oh, and you used the
So-
ARPA, and then it
yes,
shot back
to-
up to its regular, okay.
correct,
Oh, and it was 40,000 and
yeah.
20, okay.
So it really just depends on, you know, how many people get hurt and how much workman's comp you need.
Right, but so, and the only reason I bring those up too, again, there's some costs we can't deal with.
Right,
Those are variable costs,
correct,
right? And those are things that, you know, no criticism, but good management, good governance,
Yeah.
good OSHA, good training can help bring down those costs. And, you know, we gotta start looking at those little things, the little things, you know, to try to reduce our liabilities where we can. And so, you know, man, these boys need to take their time, they need to follow the ladder rules. I don't know if we got trips and falls, you know.
We don't.
Okay. well,
I talk to my
somebody
guys, I
does.
talk to my guys all the time.
Right, okay.
I don't remember workman's comp coming through since I've been back at the street department.
Right. But I mean, our workers'
it's a,
comp, I don't know
yeah,
if
it's
that's
a
even
shared
high.
cost across all the departments.
Right, across all departments, but just,
Yeah.
you know, or do we have OSHA 10 general industry training that comes to OSHA 10, OSHA 30 in construction? Are we doing any of those sorts of things here? And those things are sometimes offered free
Talking
by
10-hour
the
OSHA
insurance,
class?
offered free by the insurance company that does reduce your costs.
I have a 10-hour road card.
No, I'm talking about across your whole, bringing them in, you know, and everybody getting it, you know, and doing the OSHA 30. I'm just looking for, you know, I guess I gotta be the idea guy now, you know, because, so, that's what I'm doing.
A lot of times we do get in with the water company, they do it, so we get going in with them when they log us, yes, we do keep, yes. We have shop talk too, if that's what you're looking for, you know.
Yeah,
tailgate-
just try to figure out
tailgate
ways
talks,
we
yeah, we
do-
do all that.
Because obviously, we don't have ARPA to go get it from anymore.
Right.
Any other questions for streets?
I have to apologize for being late. I just wanted, so I apologize if you've already
That's all right. We'll let you slide.
said this, you know, been asked this question, but what big projects are you guys planning on for 2026?
So for community
CCNG.
crossing, yeah, community crossing matching grant, which is a $1 million matching grant from NDOT. We plan on applying for, these are not guaranteed projects, I want to state that again for any of the public listening. We're going to apply for the Pebblebrook subdivision, Kingsborough and English Oak
Okay.
are the three streets. And the reason we're only doing those three is because they're concrete, and concrete is double the amount of an asphalt street.
But projects, we've got sidewalk projects, we've got
Yeah,
strip patching.
street lights.
Street lights, we just got it. As far as big projects, we don't really.
So for streets, those will be the big projects, and then we'll have some smaller projects that we do too.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd say 56th Street, you know.
That is not our road.
I know.
That's the city of
I'll-
Indianapolis street.
I'll say it
so-
out loud. Maybe they can help us out.
Yeah, yeah.
Does stormwater come on the street or DPW?
Stormwater is under this DPW
Yeah.
budget, ma'am.
That's next.
But that money isn't out of the general fund, and that budget isn't approved by the council. That's approved by the Stormwater Advisory Board.
Kind of like utilities.
Yeah, it's a restricted fund, and it's got its own board to approve.
Madam
But it is
President.
included in your packet, and if you have questions about it, I'd be glad to answer.
But we got, but, there is a caveat. That fund can't do any major projects without bonding, and you can't bond
No,
without
that's
this
not-
council.
No, that's not true. We get about $3 million a year in revenue from the stormwater tax between the spring and the fall taxes.
Right.
And that money stays in that account until we have a project to do it. So the
We got a bunch of
council,
projects already
yes,
laid
the
out.
council had refused to do the bond. So we're saving money year after year. We've done a couple
Not this
stormwater projects.
council.
No, it was the previous council.
There you go.
Yeah, Mayor
So,
Collier's council.
This council, this administration has not brought a bond in front of us.
Right.
Different day.
Yep, and we're doing, on the stormwater, we're actually doing a capital improvement plan so that we can more align the projects and update them, so.
But we
working
sure
on
did
that.
get Rainbow Lane done, didn't we?
Sure.
But ain't nothing else been done.
We've done some minor projects.
No, but nothing big.
Nothing
But there was,
big,
but if
because
remember, would you,
we
hold
have
on,
to save.
Renee, because this was Renee, now this is, the stormwater stuff's important. Remember when we did Rainbow Lane, there was like 5 projects that were engineered and lined up,
Yep,
okay? And I know he's probably watching and listening, I'm not afraid of no ghosts, okay? Rainbow Lane, guys, very involved in Lawrence politics. And Collier's former secretary lived on that street. I walked it. And it got done. And nothing else has gotten done. And District 1 and 2 flood. And that's the real reason why we fought so hard to get the interlocal agreement done, to get it done. I'm not really talking to you guys, I'm talking to the other people that's watching and administration
we
out
did do
here.
a project,
Sometimes-
we did Brookside Park.
Yeah, but the big.
I just spent
the
over
big-
$1 million
the-
on
the
that
big ones.
project.
Well, I can go back to my notes and find the list of the 5, but I'm saying, have you
Oh, I
knocked out
have them.
anything on the 5?
Brookside Park was one of the 5.
Okay, so we got 2 done out of the
Right.
5? Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's great to know. And we got those 2 done without a bond.
Yes, we did.
Right, but
We
we
saved
needed
the
a
money.
bond, that's why you asked for a bond.
I did.
To get the real work
Right,
done.
to do those other 3
Right,
projects.
right. So I've been waiting for a bond for the last 2 years to come so that we can get the real work done. And that's why I've been upset that we've been caught up in manure, right? And that's why he calls her a do-nothing mayor, okay? Because we have not been able to have our storehouse in order to be able to approach, to go get a loan, right? Just like our people at our homes, you gotta get your house in order before you can go apply for a mortgage. So while I'm watching the house not being ordered, I ran on stormwater. I had ducks in my yard, okay? And I'm still fighting water now. I got a French drain being dug in right now as we speak.
Well, I thought we did a lot of work in there. I thought we took care of that.
You know, you got me clean on David, on the front side it drops, not all the water drops in the ditch, but the whole street drains to me, right? And
It's a
we have,
surface drain,
also
yeah,
we have
surface
no
drain,
storm,
yeah.
we have no storm water, no storm, manhole on 48th Street on the
That's-
north side of the street.
That's because it's all open ditch. That's why there's no.
But all the water runs, stays on top of the water, comes down David and floods David, okay? And there's other issues, it's not just about me, that's just the one I know well, because it's mine, right?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm only saying, though, that you guys have both admitted that the whole reason we went, not admitted, but we all know here that we fought for an interlocal agreement with Indy for a decade to
Well-
take charge, right? We had people doing asset mapping, we've had all these different engineers come in, rank jobs, tell me this, tell me that, because Indy was giving us the runaround, right?
That issue's gone. We're,
Well, now we're worried about a bond, I'm talking about money, that's why I'm only probably bringing it up, okay?
sure,
And it's
sure.
really not,
I-
I'm not blaming you, Jim.
no, I know,
I'm
I'm
talking
just
to the
letting you know
other.
something. I didn't have anything to do with stormwater back when the other engineer was here. I tried and tried, couldn't do it.
I
So
understand.
now you got our,
We need to move on.
Well, the move,
Counselor
the
Freeman?
move on, I understand, I'm sorry, but, and I will just finish with this point. As we dig into the stormwater, the issue, the biggest part of the street department that's lacking projects is the stormwater. You guys are doing a fantastic job with everything else that you do, okay? That's the only reason I'm talking about stormwater, because that's what's got our city in bad shape. And so I'm very, 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 very concerned that this budget is not gonna move my city, drive my neighborhood up, and I'm asking that you bring a bond.
I can assure you got my claws in the stormwater now that I didn't before, and you just bring it
But you
to
need
us.
more money and resources to do what you need to do, that's all I'm saying.
Stormwater's, we're just,
I mean, I've heard stories of, to really solve the problem, we need to annex land and put a retention ditch in Brookhaven. I mean, we got a lady that tells me she can't sell her house because of the flooding over there, she used to come all the time.
who?
I'm not in Brookhaven, in your neighborhood off of Richard, the backside, behind where Carlton used to live. on Richard.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, all those streets, those people talk to me at the local grocery store, man.
Project over there.
Yeah,
That's
we
all
just,
okay over there.
we just did a project there 2 years ago.
Okay, I'm just telling you, those are the people
So-
that complain to me. So,
It's got
Okay,
a hyper
thank
ditch,
you.
it's- that's all, she's not called
47th
since.
Street.
Huh?
She's not called since, I know who you're talking about, she's not called since, not a
Right.
repeat from her.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
same problem.
thank you. Thank you. Counselor Freeman?
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. Has all the subdivisions in the city of Lawrence turned any notices in to have their streets worked on or anything?
We get emails every day for potholes and stuff.
No, not potholes, but like,
It's not, we don't make decisions on what streets get paved based on the number of complaints that are received. It's based on a PASER rating,
Okay.
which is a
Third party.
third party who goes out and rates the streets. There is a very specific guide. In order to be rated this, it has to look like this.
okay,
And by NDOT requirements, we are required to pave by the PASER rating. So that's where we choose streets. It's not because I live there, he lives there, you live there, or Joe lives there. It's based on the rating of the road. What we do is we know we have a specific budget, and there's an engineer's estimate on how much it's gonna take for each of those roads. We look at it and we say, okay, this year we did projects over here, now I wanna go over here, what roads can I do with my $1 million grant and our $1 million match? And we look and we get the highest rated streets we can and try to combine them to get the biggest impact for the community. So it's not based on, we had 50 neighbors from a certain subdivision call and say, hey, we want our streets done. That doesn't really impact our decision on what streets get done.
so a person from NDOT actually goes around and
Not
rates?
NDOT.
Not NDOT, but whoever,
Shrewsbury, we use.
Shrewsbury is our contractor who does
okay.
our capital.
and then they
outlay
come
ratings.
around
Are you
and,
guys familiar with how the PASER rating works?
Yeah, I did, yeah, I am.
You've given me, you
I was
told me
gonna say, I
last
can
year.
share with you
Yeah.
a
Share the-
spreadsheet,
how
it's
it helps.
a chart.
So you know.
It was super helpful because I get so many emails
We've
and I
got a
just
chart that
tell them
says,
exactly
you
what
know,
you
it's
say.
got alligator cracking, or it's got gaps that are a quarter inch, a half an inch.
That's how a road's graded.
It's how it's graded.
But it's not sidewalks, right?
No.
Sidewalks.
Sidewalks, if
completely
we
separate.
nag you about sidewalks, right? Yeah.
Is the
Yeah, I'll
sidewalk,
tell you
work-
how we do sidewalks too. When we do sidewalk repairs, we go into a neighborhood, we do the whole neighborhood. Because it
Right.
costs me more money to have my guy go here, there, there. So
Right.
you knock the whole neighborhood, I need to get care of everybody. That's how we do it.
okay.
And
It's
by
just
which
super
ones have the
expensive
worst
to-
neighbor, have the
Super
worst.
expensive to put in a new sidewalk, like was never there before. That's the issue I got.
Right.
so you broken sidewalks, so you refloat them, or how's
We
the
tear
process?
them out,
Tear 'em
we
out.
pour them.
You
We
tear-
can grind them if their ADA is a quarter inch or less, you can grind it,
Okay.
but there's not too many.
And then when we go in there and we do the sidewalk repairs, we have to upgrade everything to ADA standards. So we've got to keep that in mind too. And also when I'm repaving neighborhoods, I have to bring all of those, I have to upgrade all of those. So it's not, there's a lot of pieces that go into deciding which streets are done. The PASER rating is the key to it though.
And your sidewalk repair is twofold. You got your trees, why the city let them put trees in the right of way, I don't know, but that's what causes
Yeah.
95% of the
Oh, yeah.
sidewalk is the tree,
It was a good idea 30 years ago.
the pear trees.
So,
They're service
Calorie
trees, so they
pears.
grow this way and they pop everything up.
So have
If we didn't
you-
have them, we probably wouldn't have much sidewalk.
so have you, did all the street repairs and everything that you need to do, or
You know what now?
the street repairs? Like the corners that you were doing and putting the, I think it was the,
The ADA compliant,
right.
yeah.
There's one corner on Keniston, in Keniston Farms that has been like this for 15 years, and it's just crumbled. Right
When
there
we
on the
come in
corner.
and
It's
repave,
wood.
yes, those will be addressed.
Okay.
When you say crumbling, is it separated? I mean,
It's
is it
actually,
cosmetic
it actually,
problem or is it a safety hazard?
it's a safety hazard because a
It
little
should be
boy
the
has,
only address we'll look at.
okay. I posted it. It's just,
You
Yeah, but if
posted
you
it where?
post it, it doesn't necessarily get to us, so when you post
Gotcha.
it, you've got to actually go on the
Talking about
website.
Facebook? Where'd you post it?
Next door.
On Nextdoor.
it's right there on the corner of Winford and Kinsworth.
We'll check it out, but
Okay.
I don't normally get on.
I thought each corner had the little clay
You said
thing.
Kinsworth?
I believe it's on Kinsworth.
Kensworth and Winford, yeah.
Is that up by the model court?
It's right there by the entrance of, I'm sorry,
By the swimming pool, right up the entrance?
no.
No.
Jim, I have a question, sir. Do we have a solid trash removal truck for the city? Not, so
Are you
like,
talking about a trash truck?
not a trash truck.
You talking about a
but
lightning loader? Yes.
Like, to-
Yeah.
Yes.
to go get the stuff. So what is our policy, because that's under DPW, right? What is our policy when we got, the left stuff? Like, do we have a crew that just kind of keeps the city
No.
clean?
So that is under your 439
You talking about when renters move out and the landlord
Yeah.
lets it sit there?
Well, not even just the renters, like, I just literally watched a guy had to tell of his truck,
Equipment?
two logs on it.
439
Hits
what?
the log
Oh, two?
right in the middle of the street, he keeps
Oh,
going.
yeah.
020?
Street, yes, oh, yeah.
Okay.
You say 020
And then you see stuff,
Other.
and then I just got to thinking about, making sure that, are we giving enough resources to keeping our city clean?
Oh,
One of the
okay,
things
okay.
that I would love to see is that people used to tell me all the time, they say, how do I know the difference between Lawrence streets? And I tell them to look at the blue signs, and then I tell them, when it's wintertime, I tell them our streets are cleaner. But I would like to be able to tell them that when you come in, and I noticed that, and I'm sorry guys, I know I'm running my mouth, but I was in Illinois recently, and when you're in Illinois, how you go from one little city to the next little city to the next little city as you drive those little roads? And I was also in Massachusetts, same way, and I was noticing that I could kind of tell that which city I was going to by the way that city was managed. You know what I mean? And so I feel like here, being in an urban city, being in an urban county, being a small town, we have an opportunity to have a distinguished difference that when people come in our city, they're like, oh, I better slow my butt down. I'm in Lawrence. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
These folks,
You-
Little Mayberry. And some of that starts with the graffiti and,
I'll be honest with you, if you wanna help the pollution, trash, littering, you need to raise the city ordinance on fines for littering.
I agree. That's great. That's the kind of stuff, feedback. I agree
Because-
with you, sir.
Because we can go Shaylin Way, you know Shaylin Way?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll go pick that up on a Tuesday,
Tuesday
12 bags.
afternoon.
The next day, we can get another 6 bags.
Is that coming from
The old orchard.
a business or?
Just,
The old orchard.
Right. And then also too, now, and I'm sorry, I know it's the budget, but this also can be addressed in the budget when we talk about public safety, and I'm not saying I know the cost, guys, not trying to, but like you just said, it's dumping, it's illegal dumping, right? So our guys come out, they pick it up, a day later, it's back. The only way that we could stop that is if we did some of that mobile camera stuff. I'm also wondering if our city can invest in purchasing some of those mobile cameras where we can put them in those hotspots. I don't know if that's on the DPW side or what's inside, but those are legitimate things that can improve our city.
that would have to
We
be
actually put
police.
them on 46th Street from Mid-Hoffer to Carroll Road. We put no dumping signs. Guess what happens? They dump it right under there.
I saw two mattresses the other day.
Seriously?
People don't care.
And we do have a program already for properties that are in violation. The funding for that is under 439-020. It actually was in the wrong line item. We had it in 439-010, but the controller's gonna move that to 439-020. It's $75,000,
That's other?
yes. And that is literally for our violation remediation. We have 3 contractors that we employ, we rotate them. And we send notice to the property owner to remediate their property. They have 10 days to do it. If they don't, we send one of those crews out.
Right.
They
She's
get
talking about high grass.
Right.
high grass or trash.
Right.
We do both.
I was just thinking of our common space. I know we're doing a good job with that, but I'm just like our common spaces, like I didn't know, like I even said in our caucus, like, when he came like, do we need to hire extra body to drive the street sweeper, or, you know what I mean? Or, just, I don't know, to keep our, because I know you guys are doing a lot with what you have. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying, like you said, people don't care. They're gonna keep doing it. So it's almost now become, if
That's
we
why
want
you
our
need to
city
get
cleaner.
the littering ordinance raised up and start enforcing it.
Oh, well, you talking
So-
about, you see people
so-
driving down the street, just throws the
That's what
damn thing out, our cops are off.
We were out cleanup day, just, we were out to clean up, people were throwing trash at us as they went by us.
So are you saying that, is it the fine issue or is it, or the compliance? I mean, enforcement issue?
What is our,
Both.
$50 if you get caught? Oh, it's not very much.
Because if
So your
it's,
first ordinance
it's a
violation is a $75 fine, and then they can up it, double it, what, up to $2,500. But the police department has to issue those.
I got one more, I got one more. Look, this is what, dead trees,
Who?
Dead trees.
Dead trees, yeah.
dead trees. I didn't know if there's anything on the state level, grant level, you know, when you talk about those trees, I noticed my district is just littered with dead trees. I know one could say that's the property owner, just blah, blah, blah.
If it's in,
But-
depending on where it is.
but- Huh?
It depends on where it's at. If it's in the easement, it's ours.
Right away.
And we got a
In the
lot,
right of way, in the right of way.
and I,
or the HOA?
and so I'm just, we got a tree virus, and it's really floating through,
The Ember ash borer you're talking about?
and it's
That's
really
already
and it's really making our neighborhoods look bad, right? And so if we gotta focus on neighborhoods, I'm just curious if we can address some of those issues, or if you have any, I'm not saying I'm a professional in that, but is there any way that we can help you in the budget that could help you get the resources to have the guys, you know, do some log cut downs on some of the worst trees, or maybe we could save some sidewalks by our guys coming in and doing some overhang trim.
Oh, we
trimming of those trees.
already do that.
Yeah, they're ripping out trees and Admirals now that are in between the sidewalk and the street to
But
keep.
you say you're gonna give me more money to do that, where are you gonna take it from? Where are you gonna get it? What department's gonna suffer if I get that money? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you know, I mean, that's a good question, right?
That's a great question.
Or it's how we move it in your own budget, right? So
Sure.
maybe
Oh,
you
yeah.
pay less insurance on that truck, on the car insurance, and then we get a guy that cuts the tree, right? Or also too, since we're on a deficit budget, what's the difference in using 5% or 7%? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, people they want to see results, and so when they ask me, what are you doing, and I tell them about the great things that we're doing that they can't eat, smell, or ride in, they think I'm not doing anything. So if we could point towards cutting down trees, cleaner streets, better trash removal,
Absolutely.
you know, less stormwater, more quiet enjoyment, and it just so happened that the reason that I'm giving all this to you is because your department has the big effect on neighborhoods. Right? And I believe that the narrative in this budget should be more focused on neighborhoods, right? You know? And so, as everybody publicly made it about me, I live 100% in Lawrence now. My wife wants to walk around the neighborhood in Lawrence, and it doesn't circle like her neighborhood did on the west side, since everybody was in my business in the last election, right? And so I'm trying to prove that for the walking group, for the people in my community. I have seniors that are trying to get out and exercise, and we've done better. The street lights that we did improved our neighborhood. More people are walking and talking, and the garage doors are open. Which also, I haven't heard the same restraint about kids walking our neighborhoods, complaining. So if grown folks are walking and exercising, 12-year-olds act a little better.
Yes, sir.
Right, so that's why it all comes together.
Right.
So I'm not talking, but that's what I'm talking, that's why I'm saying, trying to put every piece together to live longer, enjoy Lawrence better, and that, okay? Make Lawrence smell better too.
What are you gonna do with Rick?
Any questions, councilors, on the budget for DPW?
You're done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, good, good call.
Yeah.
Any question? I noticed that your salaries have been decreased by 8%.
So that is because the mayor decided not to hire outside for Director of Public Works and promoted me. And so that's where that decrease comes from. We're not gonna
Congratulations.
hire somebody to replace me. I'm just gonna do both jobs, and then I'm cross-training the staff I already have to pick up some of the stuff that I do so that I can focus on the bigger stuff too.
Makes good
How many
sense.
employees in your DPW?
We have an inspector who is contracted. He's not an employee. His salary comes out of a contract for professional services. And then we've got 2 assistants and an inspector for remediation property violations.
So one person to go,
3, 4.
one person to go out and see violations?
I'm sorry?
One person to go out and
Yes.
inspect
Penny,
violations?
Penny Fratelli is the code compliance inspector for the city.
I think I've talked with him, yes.
Yeah, he does a great job,
Yes, absolutely.
very busy man.
So we're on the DPW budget now.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't sure where we took off and left on. Okay, yeah, I have to, if I can, I echo, I know, Penny, and, cause he's a car buff like myself, but we do talk about the city, and, it's incredible what that man does.
He wears
It,
a lot of hats.
he wears a lot of hats,
Yes, he
and,
does.
and I would give, I mean, I would really wish that we were in a situation that we could relieve some of that from him and hire him a helper or an assistant or another inspector, because we desperately need it. I mean, we really do. I mean, that's something the council really needs to focus on, is trying to,
Oh, okay.
you know, to get some more assistance to that, because there is so much, and I know I've been told about the, you know, people up with the state and the legislatures that, are supposed to be getting our own control for code enforcement and such, which we don't have. Renee and I, our second or third attempt for a court hearing today got canceled at the 11th and a half hour, and this guy's got another continuance, and it just, it really, we need, this department needs some help. I mean, it needs some help, because I think these people are just totally, you know, consumed with more to do than they can do, but from what I've seen.
You know,
But,
while my crew is out working on the streets, we relay stuff to Renee, so we're, it's not just, we find stuff and we say, hey.
Utilities does too, so it's,
yeah, it's-
even though Penny's a lone wolf out there, utilities communicate back to us, the street department communicates back to us on what they see. So if they see construction out
Police
there.
department does too.
Police department does too, all the time. All of the city communicates and says, hey, Renee, I see construction going on here, do you have permits? And if not, we send Penny out to investigate, and, you know, so even though Penny is the only one assigned to it, everybody helps in making sure that they communicate what's going on across the community, so that we can make sure everything's safe and secure the way it should be.
Renee, you have obviously been promoted recently, I understand, to DPW director.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, very well deserved.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And something that I find puzzling is, I was looking under looks like the 2023, which I'm assuming is the current salary ordinance. There is no DPW director position, so I'm
So-
sure you're being paid.
Yeah, so, my title for public is Director of Public Works, but in payroll, in the salary ordinance, it's Director of Communications. Is the,
Director of Communications.
yeah.
My
Because
understanding,
there's not a line item for Director of Public Works. I think
Right.
there's Director of Engineering, Director of Streets, there's a bunch.
right, there is a
Public-
Director of Engineering, but you're not an engineer.
Correct, I'm not an engineer.
Right. But my understanding is there's more than one person in the city that's being paid for this Director of Communication, someone other than you as well. Maybe the controller or someone could shed some light on that? How many people are being paid
Yeah,
as
Renee would
Director
know
of
that.
Communications?
I don't know.
Yeah, Renee would know that. That's a question for tomorrow at the controllers.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'll hold off till tomorrow to find out about it, but, because looking for just glancing through this, I was looking for your position, and I thought, well, she don't even have a position. Apparently, she's not being paid. So, yeah, if, yeah, we're doing the, controller tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. And that's gonna be the parks as well?
For tomorrow.
Wasn't tomorrow, I thought, today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, I was told Thursday at 5:30 we were doing parks.
Tomorrow?
That's what I was told.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten that email.
I have Parks,
Yes, parks.
Okay.
LFD.
The one thing you haven't touched on is the city garage budget, that's.
I just looked at that budget
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
And I was
You gonna
just-
do, are you gonna do garage?
It would with
we
city
can,
garage.
we've got it in front of us.
Okay, one more. Councilor Masur, do you have any questions on under this budget?
On the DPW budget, any questions?
DPW. No.
Okay.
Ms. Christie?
I don't know if I'm missing it. Do we know how much is in stormwater reserve?
That is gonna be in your revenue
Oh, and we,
one,
okay.
so we have to, it's a sideways sheet. Let me. Stormwater fund, the beginning balance was $3,020,753.
Is that in front?
Where's it at again?
It is under the fund summary page,
It's your second page,
Yeah.
third page,
fund summary,
page 101.
and it's down towards the bottom, it's account 630.
630,
under
thank you.
enterprise.
6:30?
It's the
Page
second from the
101.
bottom.
Second from the bottom,
The thing is up
on the
page
front,
101.
fund summary,
Stormwater, oh, 630 right here.
Yes, sir.
all the way to
Blue
the front of
right
your
there.
book.
Yeah, and it gives you all your numbers right
Thank you.
there.
Yeah, that's where I couldn't find it.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay, I got it.
Wait a minute.
6:30.
So we did spend a little
we're on
bit out of
streets,
stormwater
right?
fund
Yes,
this
sir.
year.
So this
We've
is
done a
the-
lot of
We've done a lot of
repairs this year.
sinkholes, we've done a lot of.
Basin replacements.
I don't have that.
Last year,
All the way in the front.
Oh,
no, we went through a lot, right, with
Yeah.
this town budget, so it wasn't really in there. Right, so I was told it wasn't in there because we were letting it grow because we weren't gonna really do some projects. Then later on, I heard it did go back in there and we done some projects. So that's why I'm quite, so that's
The
what.
money never moved out,
Right.
it's always been there.
It's-
I mean, it's always in the fund, I'm talking about it wasn't reflected in the budget, I didn't say it
Correct.
didn't leave. I'm saying I agreed and accepted the explanation that it wasn't put in the budget because there was no projects that were.
no
that were
increase.
curtailed to it, and that's why he
For
told
this
me it
year.
wasn't in the budget when it was reflected. Right, I feel the same way. Then the same, then it changed. But I know that's neither here nor there, so let me ask you one last thing, you know, leave them. If you had
you were
$3
done.
million, if we spent the little projects there, so I guess we plan this year to just do similar, smaller projects, continue to let the
So
fund
for
grow.
stormwater next year, we're gonna do the, community park parking lot. Is going,
They're draining,
we're gonna fix all the drainage in that. And then we're also looking at a project over on Industrial Parkway, which is one of the 5.
So when we drain that, when we do the drainage on that parking lot, aren't we repaving the parking lot?
Yes, sir.
yes.
Yep.
See, that's
Yeah, in order to fix the drainage, I'll have to repave it.
right, but we were supposed to buy, that project's been going on, right?
Yeah.
And we'll do it.
That was
put it in
like-
the meeting.
yeah.
It's been going on a long time.
Is,
It's not going on, but it's gonna get done.
is,
It wasn't our doings, it
I
was,
know it's not, that's why I cut my calendar, that's why I shut my mouth.
is,
appreciate that.
is the roundabouts off of 42nd and 46, is that Indianapolis?
Yes, sir, those are both Indeed projects.
Okay.
Our roundabout is gonna be the 75th and Oak Landon,
Right, yes.
so, and
Talking
that'll
about the
be,
existing roundabout. You talking about the
yeah,
existing
no, they're putting in
roundabout?
new ones.
No,
Indeed's putting in new ones
Where?
at 46 and Minhoffer.
What's wrong
That'll be
with-
next year.
what's wrong
that's
with
the, that's German Church and 46.
Those
There's
two are existing. Indy's putting a roundabout at 46 and Minhoffer
Yes.
next year.
Already.
Interesting.
I misspoke. Could I ask about other for 436.010, please?
436010. So that is for building maintenance. And it went up, if you notice, I took 36,000 from general consulting up at 431,004. I took some money from, so that is, okay, building maintenance. It is Corson First Serve Cleaning, which is all of our filters for the irrigation system. And because the system is getting so old here, We have a company called Open Control Systems. They're trying to save it. We need a new boiler and air conditioning system. And they're on call for us, and that's about $40,000 a year that we're spending in repairs and stuff. So I'm trying to save it as long as we can. So I increased that line item. That's why you see such a big, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, our budget balances with what we had last year and the year before. We haven't increased. I've just moved money around, so it's where I need it.
Thank you.
Renee, what
ma'am.
about 439.050 internal service charges?
That is, again, the money that goes to the controller's office. That's an internal fund. That's,
439020.
Okay. Any other questions for DPW before we go to garage?
No.
Okay,
43.
garage.
Yeah, I'll be that'll be a minute. They didn't have any significant changes as far as it.
well, I mean, material prices go up.
Okay.
It's the police is the one that's,
Well, this is nothing in here.
Personal services went down 1%. What's the change
That's,
there?
again, just the reevaluating the budget, how much salaries are, and getting a little closer to the annual salaries.
Because we are still down one mechanic, we're
Yes.
working with two
Mechanic.
mechanics for the whole city, so
Okay.
we can't find a mechanic at the time, right now, we've been looking and looking and looking. We darling need, huh?
Hard thing to find, a mechanic.
Yep.
We gotta pay them.
Yeah.
I did 439.003 subscriptions. What,
We have a, the thing that the guys plug into the car to tell you what's wrong with it.
It's the diagnostic. thing. You
Diagnostic.
gotta-
Diagnostic.
okay,
Yeah.
so not a magazine subscription?
No,
Okay.
No, no.
Thank you.
What kind of
As
magazines?
cars change every year, they update them, just for the
Okay.
purpose, you have to pay
Thank you.
more.
I-
That's kinda how it is.
Okay. Because for 70,000,
Yep.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
yeah,
Bedrooms and guides.
okay,
You can't work without one.
okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You could, back in the days. Now everything's computer. Yep.
All right, I have a question for you. A lot of our vehicles though are, we're doing pretty good. They're fairly new though. What are we working on?
Oil changes, tire
No, what
changes,
vehicles, what are we,
you
what are we?
know,
Oh, the whole city,
alignments,
dump trucks,
all of
backhoes.
it.
The reason I said that, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but remember when we went and leased everything, it took our garage budget down, right? And so, and our garage has just been down, but now we paid off these leases.
I don't understand
No,
what
we
you said.
turned the vehicles in.
I don't get what you're saying. We leased the vehicles and our payment of the vehicles went down? Not our
No.
actual
No, what I'm
garage
saying is
budget.
we replaced a lot of our fleet with newer vehicles. We got rid of a lot of our older stuff. We started we did lease buy agreements and stuff, whatever. So we improved our vehicles. I remember at one point, our budget was really, really high because we had high volume, high mileage vehicles, right? So what I'm saying is that I'm wondering now, what the question I guess was reflecting was, do you see our garage bill increasing any
Yes.
based upon that's what I'm getting at?
Yeah, materials are
Everything goes up.
way more expensive.
Right.
See,
and
this
our
budget's been-
cars now, our cars they're getting a little bit older, right? Or are they turned in? We still got
It's
new
more
vehicles.
like oil filters are a lot more expensive today than what they were before COVID.
Okay.
Your tires are a lot more expensive.
Brake
Your
pads, rotors,
Brake
we-
pads,
they're-
rotor, all of it.
Right,
Everything,
and these
you
are
know.
all,
Turn signal
and these
fluid.
are police, this is police, fire, and all
All
city
city.
vehicles.
Every,
Parks,
everything.
everything
Everything comes out of the
vehicle
garage.
comes through for those maintenances, even the heavy equipment from
Even
the
the heavy
utility,
equipment.
from the utility side as well?
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Does the utility pay into a garage fee?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
For that?
Yes.
And so what I notice is, now something else in this budget, I know, I get it most places, but that means the garage actually creates revenue.
No, the garage is set up to where it doesn't make revenue.
But if somebody's paying into it, then it should have a line item for
Goes back to
revenue.
the general fund at the end of the year.
You don't have to worry about that. The
Well, how
garage-
do I know how much money utilities paying into making sure the utilities paying
That's a
the
question
fair
I
share
can't
of the
answer.
vehicles?
I don't know what they.
That's what I'm getting at.
Well,
The revenue line would be, if utilities is paying for its vehicles, right? Am I right on that? It should be a revenue line. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, well, you're seeing it, so in each of the budgets, like the DPW budget, if you look at 439,051, internal service charge garage, the DPW portion is $7,404
To the
a year.
garage.
To the garage.
There you go.
But what happened, that comes from the general fund. So at the end of the year, any money that's left in that garage fund goes back to the general fund for the rainy day or for next year's budget.
Right, perfect. That's
So
what I'm doing.
it doesn't stay in the garage, so it's not a moneymaker.
No, it was.
Well, I mean, I would just wanted meaning not moneymaker's profit, but meaning that
Right.
it's accepting revenue, it's not all expenditures
Right,
out.
right.
And so that's what I want.
And they actually keep track of, they have spreadsheets and stuff where each car and what was done to it, how much it cost, and what was billed to that
Because
department.
again, this is something that we can do variable, and we can control some of the costs at least, or try to manage, that's what I'm getting at, fleet management.
Yes,
Which I'd like to get a fleet
program.
program.
Well, I thought that's what the subscriptions were, I just
No,
assumed.
no,
No,
that's
that's
for that
diagnostic.
reader.
That diagnostic machine's $4,000?
Yes.
That's just to pay for your chips you get every
Subscription.
year. New vehicles, new updates, they gotta pay.
Yeah. For that
It's kinda like
data.
computer, you buy a computer, you leave the store with it, it's already not worth what you paid for it.
That's what they
Just the truth, that's just the way life is.
Take your car out there.
You gotta pay for the software.
Gotta pay for the software, you're right.
Yep. Were there any other questions?
Any other
on the-
questions for
sorry.
garage? Okay, thank you so much. I know we held you a long time.
Yeah, you're all right.
Fire
Thank you.
department.
That
If you
was
think of
good.
anything afterwards, just send us an email.
Will
okay?
do.
Well, get with me
Okay.
on them trees, Trill.
Yeah, I will, man.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, guys.
Ken.
Thank you.
Do the sidewalk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that he puts his hat on.
All right, thank you, council. So we presented a book for you, and if it would please the council, if I could just kind of do a high-level overview of the book, and then I'll be more than willing to take any questions. Would that be okay? Okay, so if you look at our book, the first tab is the accomplishments we've done this year. And then if you look at the 2026 goals and improvements, if you go to page, just as an example, if you go to page 12, under logistics under logistics on page 12 at the bottom, it says gear replacement, increase, replace firefighter gear to 24 sets, 18,500 moved from lower priority areas. It's also got the fund, 101,007. So if you look at the line item budget for the fire department, and you look at that fund, and it shows 18,500 increase, and then you reference this book, you'll see that's where that increase came from. So I tried to hit every increase we did and show in this book what that's going for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, by the way, my business card is in these books, so
Yeah.
always my cell number's on there, and my email, feel free to email me, call me, I'm happy to take questions from the council at any time. So with that, I'll welcome any questions.
I have a
And if you get into these books later and you have questions after reading it, again, just give me a call. I'll be more
I have a
than happy to-
question.
Yes.
Under EMS, you've got, grant request in the, expansion of MIH program and ultrasound.
Yes.
Is it your department that's going after these grants or locating these grants, or?
It's a emergency medical services grant, so yes, it's our department that's going for that grant.
And it's your department that locates the grant and writes the grant?
Yes.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why is we happen to know from other departments that are also writing the same grant, we can we kind of know what that grant's looking for, so we'd rather write it ourselves than, use someone else to write it.
Saving some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was where I was going with that.
I noticed under supplies, 420 supplies, you have the same numbers there that are also mentioned on like the third page of the budget under 420. Why is that double? And some have a different number. I mean, a different dollar amount, but the same number.
You and I had talked about that, and it's because, I think it's because like EMS fund and
Probably safety tax.
PS Lit fund,
Oh, okay.
I overlooked that when I was looking
Okay.
at that. My apologies.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we're funded from 3 different funds, Madam President. One is our general fund, of course, the other one's public safety, and the third one is our EMS fund.
Okay.
So that's the reason you see some of these funds in triplicate. And also the reason I wrote down in red the 434 numbers in the budgeted book is because I know sometimes when I look at those numbers, I'm like, I have to ask my executive assistant, Kaylee, hey, what's that 434 number? It takes me a minute to put it together, so I'm just trying to cross-reference, and again, to make it a little bit easier when you're reading it.
And that's
Okay.
a little different, this book is that it's only, this budget book's only focused on the general fund, and it's not showing us the other funds and where the money comes from for the other funds. We have had some budget books in the past that will show, like in the big block in the front side,
Yeah.
so to show that, I'm just making it up, 60% of the fire is going to the general fund, 30% is going to the public safety fund, 10% is coming out of the EMS in a blocky way, so that people could kind of, it was easy to kind of relate to see that if it wasn't done by the general, the funds were coming, the money was coming from another fund, right? Because we used to talk about, and that's all we used to be able to see, that I'm of the opinion that the county needs a public safety tax increase, right? And so that we can provide more from the public safety tax increase and not take from the general fund. But I was only able to conclude that because I could see the comparison of how all of it was coming together as I've seen different books. But no, this is, I think,
And just one other note, if I may, that on some of these, I don't have a fund number listed. And it's because either the fund has remained flat, or it doesn't cost us anything to do that program. So we're just maybe putting a hyper focus on something. For example, we're putting more of a focus on driver training this year, to your point earlier. If you look at the 2025 projects, we got front-facing cameras due to that. We've also got Opticons on our apparatus going down Pendleton Pike that changes the light. So there's a lot of things, again, to your point earlier, we're trying to do to mitigate that long-term risk for what we can do within our budget.
fantastic.
The fire department actually creates, and with EMS, creates revenue, does it not? I mean, I know like ambulance charges, is that significant? And does that go to the general fund? Because I don't see a line item here.
That would be, I believe, to answer your question real quick, it does create revenue. It's on its own fund, it's called a non-reverting fund, so it doesn't go to the general fund. And I believe, I'd have to look, but I believe it's in your budget packet on,
In this book you just gave us? or-
not on my book,
Not on the-
Counselor, I'm sorry,
Oh,
it's on
okay.
the book that was presented a week ago. If you look at the, page 101, it says EMS fund, and it's got that line item right there, that shows those projections.
EMS Fund 101,
I'm sorry, it was page 1 of 1, page 1 of 1. I think it's your third page back,
Yeah,
or
the
fourth
fund
page back
summary.
of the, it's before the mayor's tab. It's,
Oh,
that.
yeah, before the
Back where
mayor's
we had
tab on
stormwater.
yeah.
the line item was.
we've all, and I know Rick's probably getting at this the same thing, I'm thinking
Yeah,
that.
625.
We're always curious to see if the EMS fund has risen, because we haven't revisited this at all, but there was some years ago that we had hired I think a third party to help us with some of those funds, or we changed our rates or something. It's been several years, so I apologize.
No, I appreciate that question, and I'm glad you're getting to it, because of course, we're always looking for revenue sources, and I'm hoping to come back sometime next year and ask increased funding, but I don't want to bring that up.
Muddy the water, right?
Yeah,
I get it.
yes, sir.
So, but, okay,
Yeah.
but glad we're on the right.
I plan to do a rate study. The problem with increasing some rates, just on a side note, is we can charge, $10,000 for a transport, but Medicaid they're only gonna pay a certain amount. So really, we're looking at like private insurers and stuff, and they're gonna also cap it due to agreements. But I definitely wanna do a rate study and come back and see what that looks like.
Do we, one other question on revenue, do we not rent, the fire station right up the street, do we not rent part of that to, Ivy Tech?
The Ivy Tech owns that part of the fire station.
We sold it
Yeah.
to them.
Well, I guess it's hard to rent it to them then if they already own
I'll try though, I'll see what they say.
it. It'd be a great deal.
Is there any, I asked the same question to the police department, are there any efforts to reduce our fuel? Any ideas on, to try to reduce our fuel on some of the high usage vehicles?
What is your fuel cost, Dave?
Well, right now, I think we're at 80,000 for diesel
Is
and
there,
gasoline split.
is there on a line item here? I just
Yes,
see
it's
gas.
on,
420? So he's got 80 in diesel and 80 in gas.
yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, that can be moved in that specific line item, so if you use more on
You
diesel.
said 420?
422-001, it's under the 420 supplies, I believe that's the second page,
So like you said, you really got
Oh.
$160,000 for gasoline,
No.
yeah.
right?
For fuel.
In the,
There also, one thing where we just implemented is there's a program called Crosswalk, and a 911 caller, sometimes not all 911 callers need an ambulance ride to the hospital or an emergency room, and this system will get into a nurse navigator. Indianapolis has done this also. It is our hope that we can reduce our runs. Right now, they're trending about 1% for Indianapolis. They've been doing it probably 3 or 4 months before we just got started. The goal would be about 5% down the road. Well, less apparatus on runs, less fuel use, less chance of them getting in an accident on the way to the run. So that's one of the things we've implemented as well. Just looking into the future and how that can help things.
Well, we were curious, Carlos, well, I'm gonna let you talk about those high-use vehicles.
Electric vehicles?
Well, and I was
EVs?
gonna talk about, I know it's really their thing, and, because what I'm curious is that, of course, we can't change diesel apparatuses, but,
no, the heavier vehicles, the fires,
Your big
fire
Tahoe.
trucks, you can't, there's nothing you can do with that.
right.
But some of the smaller vehicles, the support vehicles, those can be changed over. Just last, what was it, last?
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, we were at an event where they had some vehicles, I think, that would work real well with you guys.
Yeah, I was actually gonna, to your point, I was actually gonna try to make that event.
Yeah,
And
it was
if I-
nice.
If I recall, I was at I think I was at a reading of the names downtown.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I couldn't make that event unfortunately, but I'd be curious, anyway, all options are always
Well,
on the
I'm
table,
really
for
happy,
sure.
We're gonna,
excited to hear
yeah.
that you're even, that you're open to it, because that's
Yeah,
awesome, so.
I didn't have time to, I wanted to stop by your office, I didn't have time, I stopped by Parks, but I wanted to let you know that, we're gonna be getting a vehicle one a month, that you guys can play with and see if it works for you.
Okay.
From a police cruiser to some other type of vehicles as well.
Yeah, I guess my question would, like, obviously, our bigger apparatus is probably
Yes,
cost
yeah,
prohibitive. Say for a battalion vehicle, I'd be
Yeah.
curious down the road how, what's that look like as far as retrofitting the station with a charger, but on the flip side of the coin, people do it all the time when they buy Teslas at home, so
Right,
I
and
wouldn't
now-
think it could be that
And
hard.
now Chevy's making EV trucks and stuff, so that's what I was just curious, because we were having this conversation
My,
with councilors.
part of my expertise is in that. I've been in that side of the business since 2001. So that's pretty much a non-issue. The main issue for me would be making sure that the vehicle works for you guys as a utility vehicle.
That's the thing, we'd have
yeah.
to make sure it meets our mission.
Right.
But, again, I was actually signed up, I was signed up
Yeah.
and registered for that event, but unfortunately, I was just double booked.
I'm just very thank you, Chief, for even
Thank
being
you.
open to options and stuff like that. Means a lot to me. Honestly, I really mean that.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for that.
Chief?
Yes.
I know there was talk about renovations on the training tower, and there also I believe there was some major renovations or remodeling on the fire station on Richard.
Yes.
Where it was, is all that done?
So the training tower, right, I mean, there still needs to be renovations on the training tower, but obviously with a flat budget, you gotta make your priorities like anyone else would. At the end of next year, if we have a good year, that might be something we can do. As far as Station 39, renovations are currently still going on. It was a mold issue, and we're also getting, we got behind the wallpaper. We found out there was more mold, and we're finishing up quotes now on how to mitigate that. So
Is that going to, because I don't see any of that in this budget, so
it's because it's this year's budget.
it is on this year's budget.
Yes, we have money in our budget
Where's the
for,
gasoline?
like,
See, diesel.
for example, in 2024, I had a major leak at a station. It was like $15,000. We put a little bit of stuff in our budget
yeah.
for things like that. So this year, with this year's budget, I plan on mitigating the mold situation at Station 39.
I know time gets away from me because I'm getting old, but it seems to me that that fire station was renovated fairly extensively not that long ago, wasn't it?
Station 39?
Yeah.
Not that I know of, no. I would, no, I don't. Yeah, I think that station's a 2002.
I was thinking it was remodeled fairly extensively.
Yeah, we did a weight, we added on to the weight room and we took out one of the other rooms, but it was basically just remodeling inside those four walls.
Right.
It wasn't an extensive remodel.
So there are no firemen in that station right now.
Correct, because of the mold. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the fire department? Chief, thank you so much.
Thank you, and
Thank
like I
you for
said, if
being
you
here.
look at those books and you have any questions, my card is in every one of your books. I'd be more than happy to take any calls or set up a meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other business? None? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
I'm not. I'm signed up.
I didn't get that notice of this controller meeting.
So I said to her, when I was sitting